Hello, welcome to Stampin' by Hannah today. Thank you so much for joining me. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, and today I thought I would share a card using the Waves of Inspiration stamp set and the coordinating dies, because these products feature in my March retreat in a box. I am so excited for this event. It's just so cool. You get the stamps, you can add the dies if you like, but I've included the stamp set, the designer series paper, some embellishments, enough cardstock to make 8 cards, all their envelopes, some 3D bits. There's just heaps and heaps of stuff in the box for you to have a little mini retreat at home. And all the information about that is over on my blog, but I thought I would share this stamp set with you because when I first got this, I first looked at it on the website and thought, well, it's new, so I have to have it. So it had already landed in my basket, and it was like, what am I going to do with it? Because it's not really my usual style. It really isn't. It's very... it's a bit too real for me. This is a bit realistic, and I'm not really a fan of... I like abstract things. I like quirky kind of... Yeah, this just feels really different, and I thought, what can I do with it? I know. I'm going to do a class. I'm going to push myself, and I'm going to do a class with it. And then, and I thought, oh gosh, I'm really going to struggle. I have not struggled to make cards with this. I have made so many cards with this, it is ridiculous. So, that's the stamp set. The dies are fabulous. I would advise getting some of the adhesive sheets though, because these wave dies are beautiful, unless you've got those adhesive sheets on the back, they're a nightmare to stick down. But just stunning. Love them. Like I said, you can add, if you're going to take part in my retreat in the box and you want the dies as well, just let me know and I can add that onto your order. That's not a problem. And this designer series paper, and I have got a little bit of designer series paper on this card, it's tiny. But I did want to show you all of these fabulous patterns that are in this pack. There are some, they look like kind of water. They're a bit like kind of oils. They just look amazing. Absolutely just love these. Look, they're so stunning. The colours, there's so many colours in here. You've got Night of Navy, Pacific Point, Coastal Cabana, Calypso Coral, Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, all sort of like colours that I would not put together at all, but they work so well. One of the reasons why I love Stampin' Up is their colour combinations are amazing. So that is the designer series paper, and this is the stamp set. Now, like I said, I have used the dies today, but I've already done my bit of die cutting. So I have got, let's get cracking, make an actual card, shall we? I have got a piece of Night of Navy cardstock that I have already cut and scored to make my card base. I'll fold that in half to make my card base. I have also gone ahead, and the other product I cannot put away at the moment is the rectangle stitched framelits. Now mine look an absolute mess in the packet, but there are so many dies in here. There are 13 rectangle dies in here, and if you look at the die, can you see you've got the cutting edge right in the middle, but you've got stitch marks on either side of that. So they are just amazing. Love them. So I cut a piece of basic white with those dies that kind of sits just inside my card base. And I have also got, I've used them again for my sentiment strip. So the biggest kind of stamp in this stamp set is this wave. And I love it, but I was like, and it looks beautiful, just stamped. Let me show you. Oh, I've got a YouTube video on. There we go. Stop, go away. My laptop is just here, so when I'm between filming, I put a video on. So look at that. Look, it's just stunning, just stamped. But I thought, well, there's not a lot of dimension in it. Like, it's waves. I want it to be wavy. So I had a piece of scrap basic white on my desk, and I did this. You see, I've like die cut bits out of it and all sorts. I thought, oh, that's a really interesting idea, and it just looks really dynamic. So I have got on this this wave, Soft Sea Foam, Coastal Cabana, Pacific Point, and Night of Navy. I'm going to show you, this was really rough, but I'm going to use my Stamparatus to make a slightly less rough version. So if I bring in my Stamparatus, move my card base and everything out of the way. And I've already got my my stamp on the Stamparatus. I need my piece of basic white. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line that back up because, yeah, I have lined up my stamp using the grid paper. Lined up my stamp so it'll sit kind of just in. So to sit on those lines there. And I've got one of the magnets and I'm going to pop that magnet just there to hold it down. So I'm going to ink this stamp up with the Soft Sea Foam first. And stamp it down. Like that. Like, it is just, it's stunning. Just as an image, it's beautiful. So that is kind of perfectly stamped on there. Then what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to move it like a millimetre. Hardly move it at all. Just over a little bit. Put that piece of magnet back on. I have got the Stampin' Mist that I have on a bit of like fibre cloth. Just to wipe my stamp down in between colours. So a bit of mist on there. Just wipe that ink off. And I'm going to go in with Coastal Cabana next. So again, I put these stamps there underneath the side of my Stamparatus just to hold the Stamparatus up a little bit, because if there isn't that stamp case there, it sits on a wonky angle and it's a bit awkward to ink. So I use the stamp case just to get that, just so it's flat so I can ink it better. So there is that. Oh, it's looking so good. So we're going to move it over again, another kind of, just a little, just literally just a smidge. When I did this the first time, I moved it over quite a lot. And it's created, like, I could see that the effect was good, but it's just a bit too much. So I've bunched it back together. So again, my piece of, I'm just going to clean that stamp off. And I've got a Pacific Point. Just ink that. And again, just straight over, bit of a rub on the back, and off. Oh, you can just see it, can't you? Getting really dynamic. And over just a little bit more. These magnets are so strong. There we go. And then my last colour. Get that off there. My final colour is that Night of Navy, which is really, it looks almost black actually on this, because it's so much darker than the other colours. It's definitely a navy. So rub that like that, and there we have our fabulous wave. Like, it's just leaping out at you, isn't it? It does look, you know, that kind of trick of the light where you put your 3D glasses on. I think you could quite easily do that with that. Just looks incredible. So that is the Stamparatus away. So I've got my card base, got my stamped wave, I've got a piece of design scissors paper I'm going to pop just underneath, and then I've got my sentiment piece. I want my Night of Navy ink and my sentiment that says happy birthday. I'm going to attempt to line this up. Now this is where it's a bit tricky because that's not too bad, my stamp's really far off to one side, but it stamps and it works and I'm happy with that. So I haven't reported it back to Stampin' Up because I'm okay with it. And then I've also die cut some of the clouds. Now, with the clouds, there are some extra dies in this die set. I'll just show you. So you've got the cloud die, but then you've also got the like kind of detailed die underneath that just makes it kind of really 3D and pop out, and they're amazing. But I haven't used those this time. I just want to highlight that to you because they are really cool. So I'm just going to put this card together. So I'm going to just line that up so I know where my piece of adhesive paper is going to go. But before I do that, during my last video, you'll know if you watched my last video that I ran out of seal in the middle of the video, and I forgot all about it. So I'm going to just change my seal. So Stampin' Seal comes in these bags that are resealable if you live in a climate where you've got a lot of humidity. I don't here in the UK. We get a lot of rain, but it's not humid at all. But that apparently can have some impact on the adhesive. So I'll take that out of there. Put that straight in the bin. That bit just pulls off. That bit goes straight down in the same place. And then you can seal it back together. And that is how to change a Stampin' Seal. So simple. Right, so once again, get everything lined up so I know where I want everything. So pop a bit of seal on the back of there. I'm going to line that up. Ooh, there. And then some seal on the back of this piece. Just like so. I want some mini dimensionals on the back of my sentiment. Just like that. And then I've got these clouds. Now I'm going to do something a bit mad. I'm going to put my clouds over my wave, which I'm sure people are going to think you're bonkers. But I just like the effect. I just really like these wave dies. I can't help it. So I'm going to use a big dimensional for the big wave and a little dimensional on this side. They are the same depth, so you can use both types of dimensional on the same piece because it will work. They're the same depth. So take these off. One. Like that. And then I think that's it. That is my card for today. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Don't forget, if you like the Waves of Inspiration stamp set and you want a little bit more, do pop over to my blog. You'll find all the details in the down bar below for my retreat in a box this month. Booking closes on the 28th of March. And I can't wait to see you virtually. Thank you ever so much for watching. Bye for now.